We're back. This time we're working on the inside spread, panels 4 through 6. We're going to put a placeholder in to hold 4 images across the bottom of the spread. We're going to do this by picking up the rectangle frame tool, clicking on the margin on page 4 on the left, and dragging across to the margin on the right of page 6. But before you release your mouse button, you're going to split this into 4 containers by using your right arrow key and clicking 3 times. Then you can release your mouse button, and leaving those selected, in your control panel you're going to position these items so that the top edge is at 5.8 inches and the height of the boxes needs to be 2.35 to make them fit correctly. That is going to extend them down into that blue line that you have across the bottom of the page. With these boxes still selected, right-click inside any of the frames, go to Fitting, and select the Frame Fitting options. Check the Auto Fit box and choose Fill Frame Proportionally and select OK. Then we're going to go to Window, Styles, and select Object Styles. Those frames should still be selected, and select Basic Graphics Frames. All 4 frames should now have a 1-point black frame. We're going to right-click on Basic Graphic Frames and choose to edit that selection. Select Fill and select Paper for the fill. Under Text Wrap and Other in the Basic Attributes, you're going to have to scroll down to find that, and apply a text wrap based on a bounding box, and you're going to offset that by 0.0625 on all 4 sides. Then you can select OK to return to the layout. Now, applying the text wrap to those frames ended up kicking the text out of here on that blue banner because it's obviously in the way. So we're going to right-click on that and select Text Frame Options and select to ignore the text wrap and say OK. We want to add another effect to the boxes. So we're going to select the first box and click the FX button and select Drop Shadow. In the dialog box, we're going to change the opacity of the drop shadow to 45%. The X and Y offsets should be both set to 0.04 inch. And we're going to select OK. Now that that's been applied, we're going to Alt-click the Create New Style button, which is going to pick up the style that we just created and opens the dialog box. We're going to change the style name to Image with Shadow, and in the Basic Attributes select Stroke and choose None. Click OK to apply the style and return to the document. You're going to then select the 3 remaining frames and apply Image with Shadow to them. Next, we're going to be importing some text. With nothing selected on the spread, we're going to go to File, Place, and pick up the brochure copy doc. Make sure you select Show Import Options and select Open. Under Preserve Styles and Formatting from Text and Tables, make sure the Import Styles Automatically option is selected. You're going to have two conflicts in there, and choose to auto rename for paragraph style conflicts and character style conflicts, and select OK. If you see a missing font warning, skip it. Hold down your Alt key while you click in the first text box. This is going to allow you to manually thread without having to click an Out box, and you don't hold it down for the third panel. You can then pick up the text that's for the outside flap on down to the end, cut that, and go to page 1, put an insertion point in and paste the text. Then delete the For the Outside Flaps text. Next we're going to go to your paragraph styles and select to load all text styles. We're going to pick up the GE Assets file and open that. Deselect the basic paragraph and keep all the rest of them selected and say OK to import those styles. Next, select all of the text on that panel and select to clear the overrides for it. Go back to the inside spread and do the same thing, clearing the overrides. If you end up with a problem with this section, you may need to undo and go back in and re-upload the paragraph styles and rework that section. Deselect everything again. Next, we're going to place in an object and apply a text wrap to it. With the inside spread visible, make sure there's nothing selected and go to File, Place, and in the links pick up the Aussie map. Show your import options and select Open. Select the Image tab and look at your options. They're going to be grayed out, but there's going to be an alpha channel that is applied. Go back to the Layers panel, make sure the outline is turned on, select OK, and then you're going to click to place the loaded image on the inside spread. Using the top left-hand reference point, place the image at 5.8 inches by 1.7. This is going to run off the edge of the page. In your text wrap panel, click the Wrap Around Object Shape selection and then change the offset for the top to 1/8 of an inch. Since there's no sides, you only define one offset value. In the Properties panel, you're going to reduce the opacity from 100% to 50%. In your Layers panel, select the Aussie map and drag it below the 4 rectangles. We're going to place a pull quote next inside over the image. We're going to select the overset text first. So pick up your selection tool, pick up the text box, and pick up the overset text box. You're going to paste that on the pasteboard near the top of the page. Highlight that last paragraph starting with "Alone of all the races on the earth" and cut that. You're going to create a new text frame over the top of the graphic. We'll resize that in a moment. You can paste your text in there. Change the dimensions in your Properties panel. Right-click in the box and select your text frame options and choose Ignore Text Wrap. Then you can click in the box again and paste the text without formatting it. We can now use our selection tool to resize the box to the proper size. The X value should be 6.6 inches. The Y value should be 3.125. The width should be 5 inches and the height should be 2.5. Now we'll go back in and format the text inside. We're going to go into the paragraph styles and Alt-click on Create New Style to open up the dialog box. You're going to name this new style Pull Quote and go to Drop Caps and Nested Styles. In there you're going to select a new nested style, and from the drop down for None you should be able to select Quote Opener. The quote opener style is a character style that was also imported in when we brought in the paragraph styles. Select the words and change that to characters. So the quote opener is going to be applied through the first character. You're going to add another new nested style to the list. You're going to apply the body quote to it, and using up to, this time highlight words and put in a hyphen. You're going to add another new nested style, and it's going to be quote author. This one is going to be up to tab characters, one tab character. Then you can click OK to return to the document. And as you can see, our text has now been reformatted. We need to put a soft return in right before the name of the author. Hold down your Shift Enter key, and somehow I have gotten my pull quote to where it is no longer formatted correctly. So let me go in to my paragraph styles, and I'm going to go into my basics. I'm looking to do a right align. And there, that should fix that. There it is.